Hello, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, only Luke is here today as Connect is sick, I believe. He wasn't
Yeah,
feeling well. I think he's sick. So yes,
yeah.
unfortunately he's not here, but go subscribe to him anyways. Hello, Wim. Good to see you in chat. Luke, I was going to ask you how you felt about that Champions League game, but before that, now we disagree, me and Luke, on a lot of things. Have you seen some of the stuff that is going around right now on Twitter? It's proper civil war with Man City fans. City fans calling each other wanks and stuff. Just verbal abuse to the max. What's your thoughts about that? Before even talking about the
Well,
game itself.
well, you see it yourself, didn't you? Obviously, someone called me out for no reason at all. We had no reason to do it, but he's an older guy as well. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but it is
Well,
what it
his age
is.
has
Honestly,
nothing to do with it.
yeah. The thing, right? I didn't bother. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to bother tweeting this out because what in the day, right? I don't care. Like, if you have a day tell about me or something, then
Yeah.
this is just. I've got better things to worry about than that. But the reality is, you're right. This fan base has its head. I don't even
Yeah.
care about win. Like trophies, we all know them, right? You have to earn them. You don't get a right to win them. You have to earn them. Now, if this season win nothing, I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. I'm like, you know what, is what it is. Like, it ain't been good enough. But the reality is, fans need to accept different opinions. Now, you and me, Alf, don't agree with everything, right? But it doesn't mean I don't like you. Like we
Yeah.
get on really well anyway. The fact is, but we both agree that the club hasn't done the right things. The manager hasn't done the right things. The players, it's a collective issue. It's just one player. It's a collective issue. Apart from Haaland, maybe Haaland's been all right, but it's been an issue collectively.
Was what
It's been it's been a massive fuck up. Sadly, massive
Yeah.
fuck up, and we got to just own it, hold it. Got to be humble. I'm saying humble anyway. I'm humble anyway. I don't really care anyway, but the fact is, we've got to hold that.
You know what I
Basically,
think? I think Arsenal fans and Man City fans both really need to understand what be humble means. Because when Erling Haaland said it, it was funny, of course, but I think we have to be humble. Arsenal fans are doing to bigger. I think they also have to be humble. I think
yeah,
both of us right now are in an absolute awful state, but I don't want to talk about Arsenal because, I mean, they're just. I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of bored of talking about Arsenal. They're the most boring rival we have ever had. Like
Liverpool
talking
more.
about Man United, there was a lot of banter to be talked about. Talking about Liverpool, I mean, they were insane when we had that City Pool rivalry. Arsenal is just not that good. They're not really rivals. And that's no disrespect here. I'm just not entertained by them. I don't see them as like the same level as Man United or Liverpool when we were in rivalries with them.
Yeah, no, I agree. For me, like, look, Arsenal as well. Right? If you watched them, right, like the
Yeah,
last game of Leicester, they were terrible. Like, it wasn't for Mika Marino playing striker. They would not have won that game. It was a gamble as well that paid off. Fair play, it paid off, but it's a gamble, and gambles pay off every now and again. But we all know it doesn't always pay off all the time. And Arsenal, for me, haven't got the squads to do it this year. Liverpool haven't been great, but Liverpool will get results. Slot is a good manager in his own right that will get the rights that will know what to do. Say, stay calm, good
yeah.
line. So
I
even
think Slot will just limp his way towards a league title because Arsenal is not up there to profit from the fact that we, and Liverpool for that matter, are not actually that good. But Arsenal are not either, so Liverpool will just limp to that league title, won't they?
I'll be honest with you as well. No, I can't see an English team winning the UCL, Europa League, or Conference League. Chelsea should win the Conference League, but Chelsea are a whole dodgy team themselves.
Real Betis will win the Conference League, I think. Real Betis or Fiorentina. Fiorentina got to the final last season.
Yeah.
But,
Also, sorry, mate. The thing is, though, I mean, I watch football in Europe anyway, so I do know what's going on. So I'm not some English football. I mean, we all agree at one point was the best. At one point, it was just it was we had like 4 or 5 good teams in Europe that were competing really well and winning them because we actually had good teams. But
yeah, but that's also like a really short period. Like Spain is always throughout history been up there. Yeah, Zaragoza, like teams that are now in second division that
The
won
Martino.
European trophies against Arsenal and stuff. So, like throughout history, they have had really good, consistent teams, and
Yeah.
Spain has more teams that have won European trophies than England. Okay, England has a few more European Cup winners, different teams.
Yeah.
But Real Madrid alone has more Champions Leagues than the entire Big Six, I believe. So
Facts.
I don't think England was ever more than a blip in Europe, if I'm being very honest.
The thing is, obviously, as you're building yourself, right, I'm not an arrogant England fan, never have been. I've always been quite realistic. Look, both City fans, right? When City blew on Europe, we're like, yeah, best team in Europe by far. Like, when we won it, it wasn't luck. We actually beat everyone. Leipzig, Bayern, Madrid, we beat everyone to the Champions
absolutely.
League. That was a proper
good Leipzig team, by the way. Not like this season, a really good Leipzig team.
Vardy at the back, a proper good team to watch. Leipzig. I mean, Leipzig now are a fucking mess, but that's a whole different point entirely. But
a lot of big teams are a mess.
I know, but Bayern, look, and big ups Dad's still in the chat. I know he's probably in the chat anyway. The thing is, Bayern, they just fair play. They won, they got through, but Celtic, I felt sorry for because Celtic actually played really well, and it probably deserves to at least get the extra time. But that kind of shows you that I think for me, like. I think right going to this obviously I'm not in it anymore, Chelsea, but I watch it anyway because I like European football.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Bruges beat Villa. I think after people think
you know what my thing is, with Bruges. When we get to the playoffs, because the Belgian league is structured in a very specific way, so we used to have the problem in Belgium where Belgian teams would intentionally play their B team in Europe. And we will get no coefficients because they just wanted to focus on the league. So we introduced a system where you actually got where you actually have half the points when you go into playoffs. So your points get halved. So you have, if you're 9 points down, you're only 5 points down. So that system started making teams from Belgium play their A team in Europe because it's all right to drop points in the league up until the playoffs. My thing is, when we get to the playoffs, we're going to be 3 points behind Genk probably. We're going to throw away the Champions League at that stage, I think. Because this Bruges team, I mean, if we did not have Europe, we probably would have won every game since the last time we lost against Genk, which is all the way at the start of the season. So, and I'm not trying to be arrogant when I say that. Bruges has generally been so good this season. The only games where we've dropped points, it's after the Champions League. Once we get to the playoffs, we will throw that away because Genk never does well in the playoffs. We could win the double. If we win the double, we have the same amount of doubles as Anderlecht, and we get our second star. So that is a double whammy. And we already have the most cups. We expand that record. And not only that, I think we're currently 5 trophies away from Anderlecht's trophy haul. That becomes 3. So we're starting to creep up on them. So Anderlecht is currently the biggest team in Belgium. The Bruges board, ever since this new guy took over as CEO, has made it their point. We want to be the biggest team in Belgium. Champions League is nice, but let's be honest. What makes you the biggest? Going to the quarterfinals and losing to Liverpool? Or PSG? Or winning the double? I think we'll throw it away against Aston Villa. If we got Lille, I think we could have gone through. But against Aston Villa, I think we'll play our B team.
I'm just going to say before we go, MK Don is a YouTuber fan. Big up to you, mate. The guy that said that, he's been known in the community to be quite a real argumentative person. A lot of fans don't like him at all. I think if you've seen some of his tweets, he doesn't really get on a lot of people. So all I'll say on that is, mate, is just ignore it. Some people will just say what they want to hate certain people. And at the end of the day, right, it's football. Ain't that deep. We do content on YouTube just to have a chat about football. It's not some massive deep job thing that we're doing it for.
You know what the thing is as well? Because in my description, I have Bruges fan and Man City fan, right? Because I'm born in Bruges, my family is from Manchester, and my favorite color as a child was blue. If you're wondering why I picked the blue teams, because half my family is actually Man United fans, but my favorite color was blue, so I picked Man City. And well, that creates conversations. But besides the point, yeah, people have very good reasons to support multiple teams. I don't know if you're a Southampton fan or not. I've never heard about that.
No,
But
I'm not, mate.
people back multiple teams for good reasons. Like if you have 20 teams, now that's ridiculous. But like 2 or 3 teams, like don't think it's a
All
big
I'll say
deal.
is, right, I like them when I watch them because I'm a local team, right? But I grew up being a City fan. And people say, oh, that's weird. Well, I've been supporting City now for 16, 17 years now. So what do you want to do? Just stop and support a local team? That's not. This is what you need to understand, right? If you don't like it, that's fine. But just don't be some asshole about it anyway. Like, football is not some tribal thing. It's literally you support a team. Crack on with it. In the day, right? If you don't like it, that's up to you. You know.
I watch a guy who is a Bochum fan. Bochum, some random team in Germany, and he's from England. He's got no family from Germany. He got no connection to Bochum. But you know the difference between German football fans and English football fans? German football fans see some random English dude and he says, I'm a Bochum fan. And they're like, yeah, sure. They don't care. As long as you're a fan and you go to the stadium once in a while, not every day, but you go to the stadium once in a while, you're a fan, as far as they're concerned. And obviously, I don't go to stadiums anymore. I used to, but I don't have the money to do that anymore. But I used to go to stadiums. I really don't even care if you go to a stadium. In my opinion, you're a fan the moment you consider yourself a fan. All these people who are trying to police what is a fan or not, you've got it completely wrong. You've got it completely wrong, in my opinion, if you're trying to do that.
And also, I'll say as well, is basically, him saying about 6 years ago, right? I don't know what the hell he's on about because I actually did play for Southampton disability team. I'm a double sale person, right? So, and the fact if he's done pictures of me, right, on a personal page, that's really weird. If he's doing that,
Yeah. So I played for the Wengener for a while, so I guess I'm a Wengener fan.
This is what I mean. So I'll say as well, if you're finding pictures of me on personal pictures of me, that's really weird.
Yeah.
That's really. I'm sorry, right? Right, like me or don't like me, that's fine, but don't do that, man. Like, it's not that deep, right? I don't know you. You don't know me. You content, I do content. Let's just get on with it, man. Let's get on with it. Like, I'm not going to tweet about it. I'm not going to do that because honestly, I don't care about it enough. I've got things. I'll have to do shows and got other people I actually want to talk to, like Alf here. I'm not bothering anymore. Like, I'm not going to sort of like go up too much, but I'll ask a comment that I put up. Big up to you, mate. I'm just going. It's all part right of this civil war. This fan base has lost its head.
They just want to discredit anyone that disagrees with them.
Exactly, and that's where we're at. We're at a point now where we got LB and another YouTuber arguing each other about something. What's that?
Was it Nobbins or there's someone else?
Oh, City. Joe, I'm going to say it right.
Oh, City Luke.
Yeah,
City Luke.
I'm not going to call anyone out because it's something to do with me anyway. I'm just saying, look, we all got opinions there. We're not right or wrong. That's just our opinion. But we got to stop treating it like some sort of court thing or some massive house apartment. We all need to have a chat about football.
Yeah, people, I get like if you're gonna try really hard, like don't bother trying. You will find pictures of me if you somehow find my Facebook page wearing Real Madrid shirts, Barcelona shirts, of me wearing a shirt of Brazil because I like the players. Yeah. Like it's not that. Like a genuine question to some of these people: have you never worn any shirt except your own team? Because you're lying if you tell me that.
Yeah.
I have worn so many different kits. I've worn kits from Chelsea. When Thibaut Courtois started playing for them. I loved Courtois. I loved Courtois when he first burst onto the scene at Chelsea. I've got a shirt of him. So am I a Chelsea fan now? It doesn't work like that.
Our Egyptians know like Salah and Mamouche. I'm sorry, right? We got to stop this now. At the end of the day, right? All we find right is English football. English football, the arrogance, the entitlement of some fans of their own club, gatekeeping their own clubs out of fear. Just get on with your own stuff. If you support your team for 60, 70 years, big up to you supporting them for that long. Hopefully I get to have that time where I live that long to support this team for. But the reality is, right, Me and you are both younger, Ralph. I'm 24, 25. I'm not sure how old you are, mate.
22.
But oh, sorry,
22. I'm 22.
22. But roughly the age anyway. The fact is, we're both young. I've watched City now for 16, 17 years, but it doesn't mean that, unless I'm a fan of everyone else, right? I've watched City just before they got good, mid-table mediocrity, lost 8-1 to Middlesbrough. I've seen that kind of stuff anyway. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, I've been in the 90s and that and see how crap it was. Look, I've been told stories about how crap it was. I've seen it myself, highlights of it. I know how bad it was. But we got to stop worrying about which fan's saying what, him saying this. Let's just for once, right? I'm not saying obviously get behind the team. Of course, we'll get behind the team. That's what we'll always do as fans. But we'll also have a conversation about what's gone wrong. And what's gone wrong is a lot of things. Pep's got it wrong. Now I get with Pep, right? Is behind the scenes. I get it. It's awful right now for him.
Yeah.
But what doesn't help, right, is his backroom staff aren't helping him out either by actually giving him some feedback or telling him that it ain't right. The players obviously are too old, not good enough. It's a multitude of issues that have all come together at once, right? And it's okay to discuss them. We're not having a go. We're not saying the club's terrible. It's one bad season. Along with the club get it right in the summer, we're going to the multiple seasons. But we've got to just have a conversation.
Yeah, and people don't want to have conversations. Like, I saw someone on YouTube recently, and this guy was like in his 60s, by the way, on my YouTube comments. And I know he was in his 60s because he was like talking mad shit, and he said on my channel, I blah blah blah. So I visited his channel, got like 5 views on his videos. But besides the point, he was talking mad shit. He clearly did not even watch the video, and he was just insulting me. He called me slurs. He called me a faggot. Like, I'm not even gay, but thank you. English people like that word, by the way. Like, calm down. But he just went off, and I'm like, I didn't say any of this. Why are you afraid of having a conversation?
The thing is, after mate, there are plenty of fans that go home and away, right? That like us, that are in my chat, that talk to me about City, right? It's not all of the fans. Most of the fans are pretty chill and on the same page as us.
But the chill ones don't talk.
The chill ones say, "Yep, fair enough, you're right. Not always agree with everything, but that's fine. I'm not asking you to agree with everything I say." But the fact is, the ones that don't like it, they get really mouthy. And bear in mind, right, I'm not going to go at all the older ones, but big up Mancunian, where a lot of great guys on there do great content. And honestly, big up to them because they're their opinions as well. It's just some people just don't like opinions that they don't agree with, and that is something that we've got to stop now. Like, look, at the end of the day, right, our opinions that no one agrees with, but that's fine because that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Sometimes, yeah, I am. I'll have hands up.
Like, I've had a go at people who agree with me because of how they talk about others. Like, if you agree with me, but you can't be respectful to people who you don't agree with, who don't agree with myself, fuck off. I really don't. I'd rather have someone who's mature enough to have a conversation than someone who just agrees with me, but will howl at everyone who disagrees with me, right? I don't like that. Now, I do have one thing here from Rosa. Courtois is Belgian. Yes, Rol at Real Madrid was not Belgian, so I'm a Real Madrid fan now because I wore his shirt. Okay, fair. He's Spanish, by the way, also. He's not German, he's not English. None of my 3 nationalities apply to it. By the way, I got a thing from England about an English passport. Like, I could get an English passport, and I was like, I kind of don't want an English passport. It's kind of shit. Like, if you compare it to the German one.
Yeah.
And also, I just don't like England. No offense. I just don't
really care, mate. It's fine. I'm for Greece and France and well, France, same way for everybody. England, Belgium, and the thing is, right, with our weather, right? England, Belgium, France, Germany, same sort of weather. Sadly, it's like
Germany is like more mild. Germany is like
more mild,
yeah, because it's more inland. Like, especially Bavaria is going to be a lot more. Well, it's still going to be snowy in the winter, but the summers are a lot nicer in Bavaria.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Look, I'm not some passionate England person, right? Look, obviously I'm from here, I'm born here, it's what it is, but I'm not. I just honestly, it's Yeah, I get for me, right? It's football, nothing else really. I don't think it's good about England really. Non-league football, league football, it's pretty good. Good atmospheres, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's apart from that, not so much really.
Bro, Copenhagen. I think I talk about this every second stream at this point. I went to the Copenhagen Major. That is the best city I have ever fucking been in.
I need to go to Copenhagen. I'm told to go there enough times. So yeah, and
Yeah,
Norway,
bro.
Norway as well. I need to go to as well.
I've
So.
never been to Norway, but bro, Copenhagen, yeah. We bought our city pass, cheap as fuck. That public transport, yeah. They had trains, or like they weren't really trains, but they were kind of trains that were coming every 3 minutes, and they were never late. Every 3 minutes, we literally did the entire city, like not the greater area, but the city of Copenhagen in a single day. And then we went on to do, like to watch the tournament and stuff. We went to the zoo and stuff on the second day. It was chill as fuck, especially if you have a Danish friend as well who knows the culture and stuff. It was amazing there. But besides Copenhagen, we've postponed this long enough. Let's talk about the Champions League.
You have to now. Yeah.
We are out of it, so it was somewhat expected that we were going to go out or go down, going to Bernabeu. But the way it happened was a disgrace for me. Do you agree with that? Like, even if we thought we were going to go out, the way we went out was just horrible.
It was, and some fans need to accept that it was. I'm sorry, right? If we went out right, guns are blazing, but we look narrowly, I feel you'll be like, you know what? Fair enough. But the first leg was a disgrace how we entered that game, and the second leg, the way we started. Now look, don't be wrong, right? It's a great ball from Asensio to Mbappe, but come on, Diaz, come on, listen, what are we doing here? Like, you just if you need to block off Mbappe, as against the ball, we go again. The amount of mistakes
Mbappe did that so smart, by the way.
He did that.
He was
brilliant Mbappe. I mean, man of the match by far. But the fact is, we set up poorly. Why was he playing Bernardo Silva at attacking midfield? What are we doing here? He's not Cam.
I was going to come on to that. When you saw the lineup, like when I saw the lineup on my watch long, like I was home late. I was excited to do my watch long. I was like, okay, Haaland is not injured, yada yada. I turn on my fucking PC. I look up the lineup and I'm like, immediately deflated. If you go to my watch log for the Man City, the preview part, you can just see, like, for the preview, I'm just staring at my screen like, I'm just like, what is this? I cannot comprehend this lineup. Foden in midfield would have been marginally better than Bernardo Silva in midfield, but it's still not good. It's still not good. No. And the problem is Pep just trusts these players for no reason. Or there are people who argue he threw this game away for the league game against Liverpool, which is, in my opinion, worse because we're not winning the league title. We could win in the Champions League. I would rather finish 5th and win the Champions League than finish 4th and not win the Champions League, because you get Champions League football anyways if you win it. Sure, it's a big gamble, but at least that gamble can enter the trophy. So if he threw it away, that makes it even worse for me. But I don't think he did. I think he just genuinely completely screwed up. I have the philosophy, and then I'll let you go, of 2 young midfielders, 1 old midfielder. You have Gundogan, okay, but 2 young midfielders next to him, like Gonzalez and Foden or Marmoush, if you put him in midfield. You have Silva, same thing. If you have an old midfielder, put 2 young ones next to him. I don't know why Pep hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, and look, going through the team, right? Edison's head's gone, game gone in the summer. I love him, but we got. I'm not having this keeper heads not in the game. Too many mistakes, too many issues. We've got to start getting someone in for long term who's going to be here and wants to prove himself. Kushnov was brilliant right back. I thought he did very well. Look, got to realise, right? He's against Vini Jr. I'm not asking him to lock him up completely. I'm asking him to put a good performance in, and he did. But look. Was it perfect? No, but I never asked it to be perfect. Playing out position is Vini Jr. And also did a pretty good job.
His 3rd game.
Yeah, I played very, very well. Big up to him. I think he'll be a good player for us in the future. Stones, well, injured again. Get him gone in the summer. I'm sorry. Look, I love John. one of the best defenders in the world when he's fit and firing. But we need someone who's going to be here and available.
And every day that passes, I feel like I am being proven more and more right. We should have gone on and bought Theo Hernandez. Because if you have Theo Hernandez left back, Guardiola can play centre back. He's very good on the ball. He can step up in midfield like Stones. He's already done that.
Look, Cambiasso will be a good player for us, but if we get Frimpong as well, brilliant.
Frimpong is more of a winger. Like a winger.
I know, but if we're going wing backs, then I don't mind getting Frimpong. It depends what he wants to do. Does he want full backs or does he want wing backs?
I think he wants full backs because if he wants wing backs, like Guardiola is very good going forwards, but he's actually not a wing back because what he does well going forwards is not crossing in the ball. It's not putting in through balls or stuff. That is what you want from a wing back. What Guardiola is good at going forwards is cutting in inside and shooting because there's a good shot on him. And also the dribble, which, he's good at, but that's not what a wing back's game is. He also doesn't have the awareness of how to play as a wing back. As a left back, as a centre back, he knows where to be. But sometimes, and people don't talk about this enough, when he's forwards, he just does not know where to be. And he looks at Foden, he looks at De Bruyne, whoever is there, and he looks confused. And people, this is why you need to pay attention to what happens off the ball. Sometimes when he's forward, he's not comfortable. And just because he can score, just because he can do it well, doesn't mean that's his position. And that's if he only pushes up. Now imagine he plays like that all game. That's a minor issue now. If you play him up the pitch all game, that's going to be a big issue. So he's very good at what he does for Man City. When you instruct him to be in certain positions, he listens well, but he's not a wing back. He's a centre back who can play left back. And maybe Guardiola will become a permanent centre back and we'll buy another wing back. Maybe we'll buy two wing backs. Yeah. Maybe McFarlane will be that wing back, but that's a big if. So, but I personally don't believe he'll play with wing backs. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think this is Stone's last season. I think in the summer he's got. And do you know what? Right,
I thought the fourth beat was Stone's last season.
And do you know what? I'm gutted because I love John Stones. He's given everything for his club when he's played. I can't fault him at all for that. Big up to him for what he's done. Diaz wasn't great, but again, Diaz probably isn't fit either. He probably isn't fit either. That's the thing. We're playing everyone for injuries right now because the problem is we have such a bad injury crisis where everyone's had to get played back to the fitness through injury, and that's. I'm not saying that's the reason why he was terrible. Still should have done a lot better. I thought he did after that actually well to the blocking the shots and then did pretty well after that. But the first goal he should have done a lot better with, definitely.
Yeah, that first goal was. Everyone was kind of on that first goal. The pressing, like everyone always looks at the biggest problem, and obviously the biggest problem is there. But what I like doing when you see a goal is I like looking at why does that situation arise for that blunder to happen. Those blunders cannot happen, but and we criticize them separately. But is it acceptable that that situation happens in first place? Sometimes, okay, what can you do? But there's the pressure with Real Madrid. They were just playing the ball around. Bernardo Silva and who else was it? Gundogan. They were not providing any pressure. And it's not because they're bad. It's because they're old. And they just can't do that anymore. And Nico Gonzalez, we know he's going to set deep it because he's out DM. So, it's just everything went wrong with that goal. That first goal, it was everything wrong from minute one. And if you play like that, it doesn't matter who you plug in there. There is a breaking point. That breaking point should not be the first time, but there is a breaking point. And we need to fix systematic issues. So many systematic issues. Players have been bored. Absolutely. And I criticize players that have been bored. I think half the team needs to go, like half the starting 11 against Real Madrid. I think they need to go. I think De Bruyne needs to probably go or come off the bench in cup games and stuff like that. But he'll be on too many wages anyways. We need to actually think about systematically what is Pep doing wrong. too many people cowered away from that conversation. And we're going to get a bit more onto that later. But Club Bruges had a manager, Ronnie Dale. We kept conceding late goals, balls, and moments. And people were saying, manager can't fix that. That is not on a manager. Then Nick Hyen comes in, zero experience as a professional manager. Wins a title from 9 points down by beating Anderlecht 2 times in a single season. The first Club Brugge manager to do that since Philippe Clement. He had zero experience. Beat Anderlecht twice to win the league title, and I believe a point or 2 points. Yes, a manager can fix that. You know why? Balls and moments only happen in high-pressure situations. Stop your players from being in high-pressure situations. Pep is not doing that. So Pep Guardiola needs to be blamed first and foremost for a lot of these mistakes. But Diaz, that was awful. That was absolutely awful.
Yeah, I mean, Gvardiol, was his best game? No, but was the problem? No. Gvardiol has been him and Haaland have been unbelievable this season, and both deserve better. They both deserve better because they've both given a lot this season, and I reckon next season a better team. They'll be up there for a lot of the awards next year. I reckon for the best player in that. Nico, I felt sorry for him. I thought he did pretty well considering what he was up against, and but he had a good Weblana to deal with. I thought he was fine. I'm not gonna go at him. Also, good first goal. Big up to him. Got his first goal. He's fine. Long term, he's fine for a long term.
Nico Gonzalez, I think he was woeful, but if you put it in context, the reason why he was woeful is because he was given an impossible task, cleaning up after Gundogan and Bernardo Silva against Real Madrid. That's an impossible task. So obviously, he did not do that very well, but it's like Rodri, if you had Rodri fit, he would not do that very well either. So again, it's even the players who play poor, why do they play so poor when we know they have levels above this? And I just feel like Husanov, our best played, I believe, this game, he was a 6 out of 10. So he looks good compared to everyone else that game. He was a 6 out of 10 for me, if you actually look at him isolated, because he lets Vini get past him a bit too much. Now, am I going to say he's a bad player for that? Obviously not. He's played out of position. We should not really play it, but injuries have forced it. Why is Pep not thinking a bit deeper, not stopping these players with a lot of pace, like Mbappé, Rodrigo, Vini, from running at our defense with Stones, Ruben Diaz, and our midfield of Gundogan, Silva? That is ridiculous in my opinion. And Nico Gonzalez, I feel very sorry for him this game because I feel like he was trying to be Rodri when he's barely even ready to be himself in the Premier League. You know.
Long term, right? He'll be a great player. He'll be a great player, and I can see it already. He'll be a great player, but we got to be. I'm giving him time, like you were giving him time, and what I've seen so far of him is pretty good. So I'm not going to sit here and sort of worry about him. The issue I've got is the midfield too. Yeah. Now, I'm going to preface this first. Both these two players have been unbelievable for us and deserve their own accolade. And well, not saying statues, but their cult status.
Gundogan deserves a statue.
Yeah. Gundogan, look, I feel sorry for him because I can't fault the effort. I really can't. But the legs have gone. And look, in the past, I've been like, fine, crack on. I don't mind these two playing midfield. But when the legs are gone, we need someone who can run around a bit more. Like, it was Gundogan and Foden midfield. I'm fine with it because at least you got a bit of balance midfield there, a pace, a bit slow, but a bit more precision. Also, DM sitting there as well. Bernardo Silva, what was the plan on Wednesday? Like I saw him from winger to midfield to left back. I was like, what's going on here? Like, look, I'm doing it wrong, right? This man in triple season was unbelievable. Best performance. I've never seen the guy in Champions League, by the way. Well, best performance of the entire team in Europe. Bayern Munich cooked. Madrid cooked. Leipzig cooked. Inter Milan the final got the assist. Is it for his goal? I cannot fault this man whatsoever for his time here, but this summer needs to be it. We've got to move forward, and he'll leave here for me with as a hero. I will never. For me, right, with Ronaldo and Gundogan, right, they can leave now before it gets towards Kyle Walker levels of fan.
The thing is, Kyle Walker only got that level of hatred because of his interviews.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Whereas these
Kyle Walker, let's be honest, if Kyle Walker never had any interviews, people would have been like, "Yeah, you're bad, but we love you." It's the interviews that really did it with Kyle.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate to say as well, isn't it?
But look, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, right? Great players. Well, in this team now, we need players that are fresh and ready to go.
Yeah.
And I just think them two, right? Look, it's just not. It ain't working anymore. We've got to say thank you for the memories, thank you for the service.
Don't go back to your ex.
Yeah, but we've got to move forward now into a new midfield. Now, Foden wasn't great either. Now,
Foden's not been good all season.
He has been.
That's been ridiculous.
And the thing is, if you say that, he's been good. If you're ever a City fan, right, watch every game, right, and even ones that go home and away have told me the same thing as well. He's clearly not been himself, clearly, because the Phil Foden that we love, right, is one who's got a bit of arrogance and a bit of attitude about him. He's got to start having that because I tell you, if he's not having those balls about him, he'll be that player like that Bellingham and that will be. He can do it. He can do it clearly, and we've seen he can do it. But he's got to start showing that cojones right now.
You know why he doesn't? I think the reason why Phil Foden shows that level of arrogance and shows that level of daringness is because the players around him he trusts. I don't think, even he will never say this obviously, but I don't think he fully trusts the players around him right now. So right now, in the back of his head, it's like, if I make a mistake, these guys will not cover for me. Whereas last season, if I make a mistake, they'll cover for me and I'll get another chance. That's why he has a lot less confidence, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why for me, right, I just look, they're wrong, right? I'm not saying sell him. I'm not that.
Yeah, that would be
ridiculous. For me, right, the difference for me and Alpha are not saying everyone must leave. Foden, no, keep him around because I see enough for him. But he's got to start showing this next season and every season after that. It can't be good season, shit. Good season, shit. It has to be consistently good.
He has been consistently good before this season, I would argue. He obviously had his very great season. In his treble season, I think he was good. He just had that appendix issue or something like that. But he was good.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna go. That's fine. I think the year after that, not so much. A little bit hit and miss at times. So no, I'm not sort of slagging him off. I'm just saying that for the level he is, we've got to sort of say, right, we're obviously going to back you as fans because you're obviously one of our own, obviously, and we're someone that we want to see you do really well. But you got to hit your own standards yourself. And he hasn't. And now, do I think he's a better team? He's a better player. He is. If you give him better players around him, better team, you will see the best of Phil Foden.
There's also the thing, there is this. They don't really call this the same in football, but there's Olympic Comedown syndrome, which is after our athletes wins the Olympic gold, they usually become a lot worse. And that is actually something you see a lot in professional sports. When an athlete achieves something great, they rarely achieve that again, which is why the GOATs are the GOATs. You look at Eddie Max. Eddie Max, why is he the GOAT? Not because he won Tour de France with a record number of stage wins. It's because he won Tour de France with a record number of stage wins and then broke his own records 2 years later. That's why he's the GOAT.
It's like Chris Froome for Tour de France. Like I watched Tour as well. Chris Froome, a lot of the English lads have been bringing themselves up. Mark Cavendish. I know going cycling is a bit weird, but I watch it myself. These guys, Chris Froome, won so much because he was consistently delivering at the right moments, and also he is a good athlete and a good cyclist. But the difference is that you're right. Like Kevin De Bruyne is an example of that. Kevin De Bruyne, right, has been through adversity, through injuries and that kind of stuff, and he still came back and delivered. Do you remember, right, in 18-19, right, he was injured most of the season, but yet Champions League, European nights, and the big games, Tottenham at home, and we went out. Unbelievable. The assists that we got that night from him
Yeah,
It doesn't
kind of
matter.
like John Stones even, but obviously when you're too injured, can't go on. Vincent Kompany in his last season, he had a lot of injuries, but when he played, he was captain fantastic. He scored that goal, that won us the league title.
Yeah.
Wait, that was 18-19.
Kevin De Bruyne has given everything for this club, and hamstrings. This guy, right, will lead. But for me, right, Kevin De Bruyne will never get hated by the fans. That's never going to happen because
unless he does something ridiculously stupid.
But he won't because he's club captain and he cares a lot about the club. If he has to go, he'll do it. And it'll be sad because I don't want him to go per se, but he has to for us to move
on. Yeah, but
yeah.
What I was going to say as well about that Comedown syndrome.
Yeah.
Can you name, except for Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, can you name one footballer in the 21st century who has gotten 66 GA in 2 or more seasons?
Right, Haaland hasn't quite got that yet, has he?
Not he got that once.
You're right, but then again with Haaland, no, it's different because I think for me he can do that, but it's the right
team around him is good enough.
Yeah. Not Mbappe.
Only Messi.
No, not
only Messi and Ronaldo, and they have had a lot more than like Messi got 148 in 11-12.
Mate, 2012, mate. That whole calendar year, I've never seen a player that good in all my life, mate.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's the stuff I grew up on. I was 10 years old then. Like even
Ronaldo, I like. Sure, I was United, but as a player and what he did from Madrid, I was like, yeah, fair play. I can't.
He's not bigger Madrid legend than our United legends. That's why it's justify liking him. The reason why, like we have great seasons here. Like Ruben Diaz coming in. His debut season is his best season. Rodri, he will never be the same Rodri. I will be very surprised if when Rodri is back, he will play at the same level he did in the fourth beat. I'm not saying he'll be bad, but there will be a drop-off.
It'll take a while. It'll take a while. It will.
I don't think he'll ever come back to that level because when you achieve something so great, there is a mental aspect of you that just says, I've done it. I don't need to prove anything anymore. I've done it. And when you get to that stage, which a lot of these players are now at after winning the fourth beat, it's really time to go because mentally it's gone. Pep Guardiola had done it with Barcelona. He won the treble, he won the three-peats, everything. And then he got clocked out. He could not handle the pressure against Jose Mourinho. And he stopped. He quit. And he became better for it. Because when he came back, he proved himself all over again at Bayern München. He actually got a lot of criticism. His last season generally is considered his best season at Bayern, but then at Man City, your tactics are never going to work. So he's got a reason to be inspired. He's not got a reason to be inspired. And you don't just get that new reason from yourself if you're not that type of person. Because if Pep was that type of person, he would want to prove himself right now, regardless of circumstances. That doesn't feel like that. Some of these players will leave Man City and play really good elsewhere, simply because they have something to prove, which they don't at Man City. Yeah. And people will think, we're making mistakes when we let these players go. We need to let them go. Because at Man City, some of these players are done.
Kevin De Bruyne, to me, right, has proven it all anyway. So I'm not even, that's not even a mistake anymore. Because the thing is, if Kev had the fitness and the physicality, this wouldn't be a question. He saw a new deal by now and it had been all done by now. But most players that are going are either injury prone or good enough. Now, Jack Grealish, I understand in a way is on the list. The issue with Jack is injuries as well. That's becoming an issue. And also, I just think his head's gone. And it's a shame because I think
he's a bit inconsistent.
Yeah, no. There's a good player in there. I've only seen a good player in there, but the problem is we need to play like that every week or most weeks, not just every now and again when convenient. So, and that's why I feel like a player like Marmouche and that, and who obviously Savinho as well, obviously on that pitch. Yes, they're both not perfect themselves, but Marmouche for me has a lot to prove himself. He wants to get at a high level. And so Savinho, and we need players like that who are willing to come in and say, right, I'm won anything yet. I'm here to prove myself.
I think Savinho, and this is the thing, yeah. Pep Guardiola likes a specific type of winger. We saw it with Thierry Henry. We saw it with at Bayern München. We saw it with his wingers there. All his wingers played a particular style of football. When Müller played on the wing, he did not play like a winger, does he now? Pep likes a specific style of footballer on the wings, and he's not that style, Savinho. He is much closer to Sane, or I guess Sterling, more like Sane, which is funny because people compared him to Maris. I think he's closer to Sane than Maris, but
Yeah.
that's the point. Savinho, I just think that is incredible talent in there. And if you look at his assists to Haaland so far this season,
Unbelievable.
he has ridiculous assists. But I want finishing. Because you know why? As long as Erling Haaland is the only goal scorer at Man City, and now Marmoush should theoretically fix that. He scored a hat-trick, but I want to see him do it in 10, well, not score 10 hat-tricks, but like score in 10 games rather than, okay, you scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
I want to see some players take the load off of Haaland, because the moment Haaland is not the only player to target anymore, he will score twice the goals. Maybe not twice the goals, but he'll score a lot more. This season, yeah, I think if you put this Erling Haaland in the treble season, he probably gets 40 league goals. Because Erling Haaland is a lot better this season than he was in the treble. But he's just been with unbelievably bad squads. And Savinho is a bright spark, but he's young. Young players lack consistency. He's lacking finishing to take a load of Haaland. Everyone is defending right on Haaland because there's not going to be a De Bruyne goal from 30 yards out. There's not going to be a Foden goal from 30 yards out. Last season there was. This season there isn't. So you can put more players on Haaland.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's the thing, right? That's the thing with this squad. Like, it's basically a major overhaul. I think, for me, I said it before in a tweet as well. Like, I think this season in general, even if we need FA Cup and that would be good, we need to end the season now. For the fan base, for the players, for everyone, we need the season to be done with. I know we've got the Club World Cup, but for me, that's a whole different thing in itself.
That's like a pre-season.
Yeah, the season in general, we need a break. We need to decompress, chill out the fan base. Look, ain't been good, we know that, but get some players in, players out the door. Next summer or in August, we go again. That's where I'm at now. I want to go again. You know, I'm not asking for all trophies this year, but I just want a fresh team with a lot to prove, ready to go again and take it to Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, to everyone. Next year, score to settle. That's what I want. But we've got to see that change happen between now and next season. Got to say it.
I'm going to say something that I am asking for trophies every year. And here is the reason why. I don't think Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, anyone is doing the right things to win trophies consistently. So if we were playing, if we go 4-5 years back, I think it'd be ridiculous to ask for trophies every year because there's more competition. I think right now the Premier League is so weak that it is actually okay to ask for trophies every year. And that is looking at the context of what our rivals do. If in the summer Liverpool spends 300 million, I'm not going to say, well, you have to win trophies every year, but they're not going to do that. So I think it's okay to ask for trophies every year with how bad our competition is currently managing their squads and stuff. But that's a bit besides the point. We can argue about that, but regardless of whether you think we should win trophies every year or not, the reality is you're going to not win trophies some years. But the manner in which it happens is the big problem. Like John Stones, should he have played against Real Madrid? Because I would have personally rested him against Newcastle so that he could play against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't rested against Newcastle, I still wanted him to play. Did you want him to play? Before the Madrid game. Like, no hindsight, before the Madrid game. Knowing he played against Newcastle, would you have wanted him to play?
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's the thing, like, we've got Akanji out for the season, and we've got Stones out probably for the season. So that's two players gone. So that means Vitor Hayes probably have to play some games now, which I'm fine with. I'm fine giving some game time, but this is why we've got players in, by the way. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing we actually got two centre backs in January. But you're right. Like, we need a squad now of players that we look. Obviously, injuries will happen. They're going to happen. It's football.
Yeah,
we know that. But the amount of times that Ake's been injured, Son's been injured, Akanji, it's been so.
because we rushed him back.
Yeah, look, Diaz for me is an injury prone. Diaz for me has been rushed back so many times now, and he needs a break to let him heal. Because I guarantee you, when he's fully fit, he'll be fine. He'll be fine because he's not someone that gets injured quite a lot. Diaz and Doku's a bit of an annoying one, but I get a similar sort of thing.
I think Doku has been fit for quite a while now, but
now-
with attack we have a bit more luxury. So I think Pep is like, he's fit, but I'm gonna give him time to heal completely. So I think Doku, if you wanted him against Madrid, I think we could have started him.
Yeah.
But
Doku and Savinho, yeah, they're right, yeah. Definitely.
But I think Pep Guardiola is thinking, do I want to risk this guy and then have another played out for the season? Yeah. And I think that's the correct decision to say no, because attacking-wise, it's not our problem right now.
To be fair, mate, Doku actually has played pretty well. What he's played, I wouldn't say he's been like the best player by far, but what I've seen of him, when he's played though, he actually has been pretty good. But I think what we need, I need him fit for a longer period of time. That's what I need to see. I need a bit bigger spreadsheet to sort of prove. That
in my opinion, he is better off the bench. I think when he comes off the bench against started legs, he is incredible. But when he starts, he gets started quickly, I think. And it's a product of how he plays, of course. But he gets started quickly and he just fades out of games. And if you only play 20, 30 minutes, you don't have time to fade out of a game.
Yeah.
But I feel like after 60 minutes, he goes from playing really well at start to completely gone. And that is my problem with Doku. Can you fix that? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But you know what the thing is with that? Doku is one thing. That is really not my biggest concern because we can rotate so much without attack. And I think Doku is fine with being a bench player because he knows his level. He knows that he's not as good as Marmouche, that he's not as good as Savinho. Yeah. What I'm more concerned about is centre backs right now. And Yumaba, I mean, I've watched him at Valladolid because I love watching La Liga. He is really good. He's a 7 out of 10 every game. He's not great. He's no Ruben Diaz, but he's consistent. He's decent. If we bring him in, he's on loan to Lens right now. If we bring him in next season, I think that's fine because we'll probably bring in a few full backs. So I think Guardiola may finally start playing in centre back. So having Ba as that backup centre back, then maybe Ake as a left back, as well as someone else coming in to play as left back. I think that's fine. Midfield is my real biggest issue. O'Reilly. How much is O'Reilly trusted? McAtee. McAtee, is he going to play right wing like Foden?
McAtee, yeah.
What is McAtee going to play at all? Because we have how long to him. Are we going to see him get more minutes?
I'd sell him.
That's my biggest concern.
I'd sell him. Look, in the day, right, I'd rather give O'Reilly more game time than I give McAtee. Look, McAtee, right, is 22, 23. He needs to be playing week in, week out now. It's time we say, look, that boat was missed a long time ago. Pep should have played him a long time ago before he went on loan to Sheffield United. That's our own fault. Just let him go out on loan, sell him on. Let him go to another team. Do you know what? Like a Dortmund, someone like that, or Leverkusen. I think generally
Dortmund is also having a woeful season right now.
Oh yeah, Leverkusen.
I'd say ninth. I'd say ninth right now in Bundesliga. Let me check.
Yeah, because Dortmund, no. Although they're
11th. Oh my days.
Well, but then again, Dortmund are actually further than us in Champions League. So can we re-talk?
I mean, misery enjoys company. Misery enjoys company.
Well, I think Bruges are better than Dortmund. I think they're taking the piss.
We will spam Dortmund if we played right now because we were bad at the start of the season, but if we played right now, we will destroy them, man. I can't lie.
Yeah, I just the thing is, mate, what I really want to get back to is an actual good team, not just individual players, but a good City team. Get back to that. I'm not asking us to go on and win titles next year. I'm asking us to get a team that's balanced again, a balanced team that works well, that we know our best team every week, And if we win the league, great. But I just want us to get back to that level where we all know our best team, we all play good football again, and we're like, right, confidence.
Have you watched Echeverri, by the way?
I watched Echeverri.
Okay, I have not watched Echeverri. How good is he?
He's very good, but I'm not getting carried away. I think that for a 19-year-old, brilliant. I think for what he will offer us is brilliant. But I think for me, I just think because I think he'll go out on loan though. Because I think the reality is, I'm not saying he ain't good enough to start for us, but in this season, is he going to get enough game time this season right now? Really, at the moment,
he's coming in at the end of the month, right?
Well, he's here right now.
He's here already.
So I can't see him playing tomorrow. Sunday. I think FA Cup, you'll start seeing that.
Yeah, maybe you'll see him play there. What can Echeverri do? Would he be able to play as an 8? Would he be able to play as a winger? What do you think is how much variety can you get into him, you think? Because if he's a player that you can play everywhere, I think he can get minutes if you play him everywhere around the pitch. Now, whether you want to do that with a young player or not, that's a different question. But I'm not going to put my trust in Echeverri because I have not watched him. If he ends up coming here and he's the new Messi and he scores like 10 goals a game and he carries us to a treble, of course, brilliant. But I've not watched him. I don't know that's his level. I have watched Florian Wirtz. Now I know for the fact what his level is. If you bring him in, throw balls from Florian Wirtz to Haaland, crosses from Savinho to Haaland, and send the odd chip into the box by Foden from Haaland. And Haaland is feasting, plus Florian Wirtz will score a goal from distance. Marmoush will get his goals. Now that is a lot better. And then all you have to worry about is that midfield, Rodri, Nico Gonzalez. How's that going to work out? I think Rodri can play as an 8, actually. A lot of people are like, can Gonzalez play as an 8? But I'm like, why not play Rodri as an 8? Because he can literally play everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. I just feel like, I think for me, regarding Echeverri, I think Echeverri for me will be a good player, but I just hope that I'm not going to get carried away. Look, I love it. LB bigs him up, and I do understand. I've seen what he's on about, but I'm not getting carried away. I need to I need to see him first before I start thinking, "Ooh, where we go." But I hope so.
You know what the thing is with, and I mean this as no offense. You have not watched a lower league, like maybe you have, but like Lewis has not watched a lower league. I have seen so many players in the Belgian league, and everyone talks about them. The next big thing, they go to a bigger league, and they.
I'm the same with the Dutch league because I watch the Dutch league quite a bit. I do watch Belgium every now and again as well because I do like watching other leagues. But the Dutch league, do you remember Memphis Depay?
He was supposed to be the next Messi.
I tell you what went wrong. He went to the wrong team. When Ronald Koeman was managing Southampton.
Yeah, but you could say that about the Gatelar as well, about Noah Lang. You could say that about so many players. Refailov, Perisic, like so many players. You could say, they went to the wrong team. But fact is, so did De Bruyne. Then he went to another team and he killed it. De Bruyne, I don't know if you were watching the Belgian League in 2010. He looks like Diego Maradona. He was actually looking like Diego Maradona. Just looking world class in the Belgian League does not mean you're world class. You need to look like you're Diego Maradona. You need to look like you're Lionel Messi, like you're Cristiano Ronaldo.
Just stand out. Do your bit. Basically, do your job. I'm not even
standing out is not enough in these leagues. If you stand out in these leagues, you go to a bigger league, you're average. Because everyone in those bigger leagues stood out in a lower league.
Well, I'll give you an example, right? So you watch Brentford and Bournemouth. I'll give you examples, right? So Brentford, Brian Mbumo and Johan Visser, right? Very, very good players. I think they're both very, I wouldn't say they're world class, but they're both very good players for what they do. Brian Mbumo, for me, is probably the best player at Brentford. I think he did very well at Newcastle or something like that, or a very good team in Europe and that. I think they got Europe. He played for a Ligue 2 team before going to a championship. That's a player that has done well because he stepped up into a difficult league and played very, very well. Now, but also Brentford I had Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney as well from lower leagues as well came up. So again, it is possible for players to come over and do that. I think Riyad Mahrez, for example, at Le Havre, went to Leicester. Went from Leicester to us and became one of the best players in the world. I think what it is, right?
League title at Leicester, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, Angolo can say Khan, from Khan to Leicester. Some players just do well at stepping up from a lower league into a better league.
Haaland did the same, to be fair.
Haaland went from Mulder to
Salzburg, to
Austria, a good level, to then to Germany and Dortmund, and then to England. Yeah. Some players just have it. Like, well, I'll give you an example of players. Like you got Strand Larsen at Wolves. I mean, Wolves aren't a great team, but he's a good striker. Put him in a better team, he get even more goals. Sorloth, Dortmund. Like there are certain players that I mean, Højlund for me, I rated him at was it in Denmark. He didn't do Atlanta. He wasn't really pulling up trees, and then suddenly, I bought him for that money. I thought I said at the time, too early for him. He's a good player. There's a lot of potential in there, but you need the right club for him and the right mentality and the right manager to allow him. Like for me, right, he's not crap. He's not finished. You can recover that out of him, but he needs to leave United to go to a better team. Yeah. There are a lot of players that I think of that think like that, and I think that's why I'm not judging Echeverri. I think Echeverri, he has to come into this league. Look at Alvarez, River Plate to us, did very well in the Premier League. Can't say,
and no one expected that. By the way, he was supposed to be loaned off, and then he just absolutely balled.
Yeah, I think Echeverri could be the exact same thing, but he's younger.
I just read a commentary on Echeverri. There's a rumor, I don't know if it's true, that he's got 4 months, Echeverri, to impress Pep, or he'll be sent out on loan again. So I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll be given that chance to be out next camp. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work.
The thing is, right, I mean, look, again, I've watched Echeverri enough anyway, so I do know there's a good player in there. But the fact is, I'm not going to start, saying we must start games. Like, I think Pep's not asking that anyway. Pep will say to him, right, just come into off the bench or an FA Cup where he gets a start. Show me what you can do. If he does enough, all right, you might be a sub player to start with, but he can get himself into the team. If I'm Foden, I'm thinking, right, yes, he's younger than you. Yes, he's probably not as good as you right now, but be careful, value, because some players who are younger can end up all of a sudden eclipsing you. Yeah. It can happen. So I think, look, Wirtz obviously is something that everyone wants. But the reality is, Florian Wirtz is not a guaranteed signing for us because that's a player we have to work hard for. So
Florian Wirtz, I think, we should have gone in for after the 4th beat season because I think you tell Florian Wirtz, you get a full season to play with De Bruyne. He will teach you everything he knows. Then De Bruyne will retire, and you are our new man. I think he would have taken that in a heartbeat.
Who is Florian Wirtz's favourite player?
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne. Like if you asked him, look, I think that number 17 shirt is going to be hard to fill. Like anyone who wears that after that, you are wearing it's like 16.
Even if you come in for the Bruyne position, just take the number 10 because I promise you don't want that number 17.
No,
the pressure is going to be too much.
17. If I could, it would be weird. I should retire it personally, but I'm not going to retire. It's weird.
Yeah, I think that's weird when you retire.
Like I get it with Vivian Defoe.
The only time because there's a Club Bruges player who died in a car accident, and we retired his shirt number for him.
Same as
that is respectable, but like retired his shirt number because played for the
same as Mark Vivian Foe as well, number 23. That I'm all for completely, but players as well, nah, man. Like it's like Bellingham's number. What are we doing here at Burnley? Like, come on, man. Like I get it.
That's weird.
If someone's passed away very young, then of course do that. Absolutely, I'm all for that. Yeah, but come on, like it's not that. Yeah, it's not that at all. Yeah, so
yeah, but anyhow, we've talked quite a while now.
Yeah,
I think the conclusion is this season is done. This season is done.
Yeah.
So go subscribe to Luke if you haven't already. Go subscribe to City Act, to Not In My Lifetime podcast, should I say. Go subscribe to MCFC Connect because he's not here today because he's sick. Normally he's on here. Big up to him. Thank you all for watching. I will redirect you guys to Arsenal X-Rated, who's got to doing a Garland show. Let me quickly check though if he's still live, because I set up that redirect like half an hour ago. He is still live, so okay. We will redirect to him. Thank you for watching. Big up to Luke for coming on, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.